It's easy to find affordable 4K TVs these days. But what if you want really, really slim 4K TV? Well, today we're gonna test this. The new Samsung's DU80. It looks brighter, smarter, and it's more affordable than last year's 8 series. So, what kind of spells Samsung uses to convince us?
Sorry I'm late.
Let's not change the parameters of this spell anymore.
We know that it comes with Edge LED panel with HDR and sits in mid-range of the LED TV market. Like many others, this TV now supports 4K HDR, but it has very easy settings to easily adjust everything from watching shows, movies, to the gaming mode. In this review, we are gonna see if there is any difference with last year's 7 and 8 series, and it also applies to bigger screen sizes. They have near identical Edge LED screens and should provide very similar picture quality. The VA Edge LED screen can produce very good contrast in dark room, but it isn't perfect if you want the best colors in a white room.
This year, Samsung has decided to use slightly bigger text on the box, so you can now much more easily see it in the crowd. Otherwise, it looks similar to other eco-friendly boxes on the market. So, let's open it. Inside, we still have styrofoam protection, which is nice. There are 2 stand legs on each side, and there is also a survival package. We have a lot of stuff, mostly manuals. Here is the power cable and solar remote. Of course, we cannot forget the card adapter if you want to unlock the best TV channels. In terms of design, Samsung 8272 is still easily one of the best-looking affordable TVs this year. It's thinner than a good chunk of other OLED TVs on the market, and it also has very thin sides and bezels. Below the screen, it has 2 feet as its stand, which are adjustable and they feel solidly built. They are very simple to assemble, thanks to the Samsung click and stay design, so just insert your press and that's it. If you want to protect TV against wild creatures, you can use these 4 holes to use it for wall mount. Speaking of the back, if we check closely, we can easily see that Samsung has all the inputs except power on the right side. So here are 2 HDMI and 2 USB. And it's worth mentioning that HDMI supports 4K 60 and HDMI ARC for audio. Gamers will appreciate low input lag in the new game bar. More on that in the gaming part of the review. Sadly, there is nothing more, so if you have old analog relics at home, get an optical to analog converter. Like all smart TVs these days, it has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 5, and support screen mirroring. Here is the micro solar remote control. At first, it looks very similar to the Bluetooth Samsung remote in the last few years, but there is a slight difference in the size and on the edges, which are now more ergonomic. It still looks nice and feels solid. The buttons are well designed and easy to press. This remote is equipped with a solar battery and it has smart buttons. That means you will get voice control and quick navigation with shortcuts with multi or long press. So you will need to press one button multiple times to enable the extra option. Shortcuts menu looks cool, but sometimes you still need more time to find something like numbers. You can still use your old Samsung remote with numbers, or get a Samsung Universal Remote. There is a hidden button located under the TV on the right side under the Samsung logo, so you can control power, channels, volume, and inputs. The DU80 comes with Samsung's Tizen smart TV platform. The installation is still the easiest and fastest I have seen. From language, Wi-Fi settings to channel search in the background, Samsung really knows how to impress. Although it doesn't have the same range of apps of Google TVs, there's still plenty of apps to choose from Netflix, Disney to YouTube. The home screen is very similar to Android TV, and you can easily customize favorite apps, and specific settings are always easy to access. Testing speed on the Samsung using the Netflix app. Limitations of the Tizen processor doesn't become apparent as app stays responsive after exit, and scrolling through the content stays consistent. YouTube performs smoothly and it works well on the highest quality settings. Of course, you can still play movies from the USB drive, and there is support for the X264 and X265 codecs. Otherwise, the Tizen USB player is one of the fastest and offers support for subtitles and has a lot of customization options.
On my signal. Be ready.
So, based on the specs, the Samsung promises a bright 4K LED screen similar in comparison with last year's model. We are talking about Edge LED VA-type screens with HDR support. But what you'll get from this TV is excellent bright highlights in darker scenes at the cost of minimal blooming, even though this TV has only 4K 60 in the specs. When evaluating motion using demo video, the Samsung handled the action scenes well, with the fast-moving objects looking smooth and without excessive judder. I appreciate that the DU80 black uniformity contrast is the best among LED screens and has pretty good color accuracy. Samsung doesn't like Dolby Vision, so they have their own HDR10, which works fine. HDR brightness levels are above average. If we compare to the entry-level 4K TVs, it is still below 400 nits. Nevertheless, HDR effect in the dimly lit room looks stunning if this is your first budget 4K HDR TV. The 4K picture quality is excellent and the HD channels show up well. When upscaling standard definition, whether from the tuner or web, a universal program guide remembers your content choices and recommends programs that it predicts you'll like. If you want the quick solution for the best picture settings, then you only need to select a dynamic picture profile. If you select movie mode, you can see that the picture has darkened slightly, and this is the best quick profile for the dimly lit room. Of course, you can still adjust brightness or colors if necessary. Samsung has great game mode with input lag below 15 milliseconds, which is excellent if you plan to connect a PC or PlayStation to the TV. The casual 4K 60 gaming on this works very well, thanks to the excellent game mode. If you are a professional gamer and you want more advanced settings like 4K 120, you will need to check out QLED 7 series or higher. DU8000 has standard speakers on each side below the display. You're looking at 10 watts each to give you a louder sound than you would expect to get out of typical built-in TV speakers. That's not all. Samsung has also designed special sound distribution trough screen, so you have more spacious sound.
This is about power, and who is allowed to use it?
I would say audio quality is good, but not amazing. Its mid and high tones are clear of deviations. The bass is fine and similar to the one on the 7 series, but I could still noticeably improve with any soundbar with a subwoofer. I found a web browser and its home menu still usable, and it has a fairly responsive web engine for quick page loading. The on-screen keyboard is intuitive and saves your time with smart suggestions, and you can still connect the wireless mouse and keyboard. There are a lot of advanced settings, but if you want more privacy control, then the easiest way is to use built-in screen mirroring. The Samsung DU8000 II is still one of the fastest and thinnest 4K LED TVs on the market in 2024, offering acceptable value for its price tag. It has a very good contrast and has great black levels in the darkroom. Of course, it could have more buttons or more apps than Google TVs. But if you want fast and responsive TV with low input lag, Netflix and YouTube, it is still faster than on many Google TVs, and you can still connect easily phone or PlayStation for better results. It is easy to recommend Samsung DU8 series if you want fast, affordable 4K LED TV and don't care about Google TV apps or extra brightness that offer QLED TVs for the same price.
So, thanks for watching, guys. I will be spending probably the next couple of weeks testing this TV. So, if you have any questions, feel free to leave comment below. If you're interested in learning more about this TV, check out Samsung Tizen video.